the challenge every day that boxing presents itself to me. So yeah, as I said, when I started boxing, it wasn't just about, I want to be a good fighter, I want to be a champion. It's a lifestyle. It presents you with a half-decent lifestyle. Training, sleeping, eating good, keeping things simple. It's quite a good disciplined lifestyle, to be fair.
Am I looking at a future world champion, or is there another way you want to add another paragraph or chapter to your own legacy?
Yeah, you're looking at another world champion.
7 years is a long time. We already know what happened in the last fight.
Forget all that.
If you were to fight that version of yourself, how would it go?
Yeah, I'll be thinking, this little aggressive motherfucker. Then I understand the elements of defense, and I understand, like, I know that pace, you can't sustain that pace. Naive. It's a 12-round fight. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. This is 12-round boxing, you know. You systematically break down an opponent. You systematically break them down through they can't handle your output, like their heart rate's just spiraling out of control. You break their soul, you break their ribs, you break their face. Sooner or later, they'll give up or they get knocked out. So with the old AJ, what I'm saying is that he would probably start, boom, red zone, and I'd just be smart enough to pick him apart. I'll do, like, Klitschko could have done it to me, but he just weren't aggressive enough. But, like, do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like the old guard versus the new guard, or the new guard versus the old guard. Klitschko, you know, through his experience, it was a good fight, explosive. But, like, there was a period in that fight where, like, it was my soul that was fighting, like my spirit that was fighting. But that's what I would have done to the old AJ, made him fight with his spirit. But I'm too smart now. Boxing, remember, is about fundamentals. If a kid comes in the gym and has better fundamentals than someone that can bench press more, run further, sprint harder, who will win? The kid with better fundamentals or the kid that can run, bench press, eat more calories? The kid with more fundamentals.
And those are the words of Anthony Joshua as he compares his beginning career to his current career. And he used a perfect example with the Klitschko fight, whereas he did come out banging. He came out throwing. He came out aggressive. And in the 5th round, he ended up dropping Klitschko with just a bombardment of punches, just, you know, an assault. But what happened, Klitschko got up, regained himself, and started inflicting damage on AJ the rest of round 5 and dropped him in round 6. In round 7, 8, and 9, he was having his way with AJ, but he was taking his time. And what AJ was saying is, well, Klitschko could have done me that way, but he didn't apply the pressure when he should have applied the pressure. And let me counterpunch. I'm glad that he used that example. When Anthony Joshua fought Jermaine Franklin, you know, he's now saying that he's more poised. He's more on the defense with better fundamentals, which means defense. And he's really proven that Vladimir Klitschko should have upped the ante in getting Anthony Joshua out of there. See, what Klitschko didn't anticipate was the recuperative powers that Anthony Joshua did not supposed to have. That's that heart and that spirit that he was talking about. But actually, he was in shape. He was physically strong. And that's why in the rounds 9, 10, and 11, he was able to come back and land that right uppercut to get Vladimir Klitschko out of there. You know, and I think that Joshua needs to take advantage of what happened in the Klitschko fight between himself and Vlad and understand there are times to up the ante versus there's times to coast, and you have to have the wisdom to understand when you do that. Okay? And him saying, well, hey, you're going to be stupid, you know, just coming out banging like he was. And I know that reflects the Klitschko fight. That also reflects the Andy Ruiz fight, where he was just trying to get Ruiz out of there, throwing caution to the wind on what Ruiz could hit him with, and then boom, he caught him with that punch that changed his whole career. And he learned from that. But I think he's also was scorned from that moment, because that moment, let's face it, people, not only was it shocking, it was embarrassing. Okay? That was an embarrassing moment for AJ. first time at Madison Square Garden, fighting an unknown pick'em guy like Andy Ruiz, fat Mexican, stay puffed, marshmallow man built cat that dropped him like that. Bars. And then round 7, the fight's over after 4 knockdowns. So I think he's trying to avoid situations like that again, and I think that's still hunting him. But understand, if Klitschko would have upped the ante and was more aggressive in rounds 7, 8, and 9, he would have got AJ out of there, because AJ didn't have anything left and he didn't recuperate, and he was still hurt. Okay, so having good boxing fundamentals is good, but what can we expect moving forward? We can expect something from AJ. He wants to apply a little pressure at times, but I think he also wants to understand that there's times to remain calm and poised versus gung-ho. So, in other words, I don't think we're going to see that gung-ho AJ. Now, I think he knows how to box. What he's talking about, his teachings, his lessons, what he's learned from Derrick James, I hope we see that in the Dillian Whyte fight. But expect to see more of a controlled fight, really by both guys. But the old AJ versus the new AJ, people won't be convinced that AJ is back until AJ knocks somebody out. And he knocks someone out the way he did before. But I don't think you'll ever see that AJ. I think that AJ is done, because that was an AJ that threw caution to the wind. He just, hey, I'm a buff cat. I work out, I train, and I'm going to give it everything I got. This AJ is not like that. This AJ will let me think a little smarter so I won't have to fight harder. That's what he's doing. So if you're expecting, again, the old AJ, forget that. Hopefully we can get something like the old AJ with a twist of wisdom and more defense, but less hesitation and uncertainty when you see him box in his body language and body style. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua's breakdown of his old self and his current self. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch.
Peace.